Hey folks, how's it going? Getting ready to head to the junkyard and try to find some fender bolts and some odds and ends for my Rambler wagon. A friend of mine was at this junkyard, it's pretty close to me, a couple weeks ago, sent me a picture of a Rambler wagon. It's a different year than this one, but it's a similar body style, and it's probably got these bolts. These fender bolts are an Acme thread, which is weird. They just go through a stamped steel clip, which you can't get. And I have a couple that are just rusted away, but I can make them. I'm gonna make them, and but I need to go there anyway. I'm gonna check and see if that wagon that's there has clutch and brake pedal hanger in it. Because like I said, I'm making this into a gasser. I've got a automatic I'm gonna put in it to go behind the small block Chevy I'm putting in it. But that's just temporary because gas are supposed to have 4-speed. But you know, I'm gonna try to find some pedals. I think a pedal set out of Ambassador or a Marlin, maybe an American would work. I don't know. But this classic wagon, hopefully it has a 3 on the tree or something where I can get pedals out of it. I could always go with a drag racing set of pedals. Probably something from Low Car or something like that, but if I can get a set out of a junkyard that's nostalgic and, you know, real, it's cooler. So we're going to try that. Also going to look for seats because my sedan that I bought for parts that I'm going to now make into a driver car, an actual car, because it's so good. Put this drivetrain in it, didn't have any seats in it. Somebody had taken all the seats out, so hopefully this wagon has seats in it. At least the front seat will work for sure. I don't know about the back seats because of the way the wagon's made, but they might work too. The back seat in it might work in a sedan too. I don't know, so I'm gonna check for that. And there's a few other things. There's a little piece for the heater, the engine compartment side of the heater. It's where the cable goes. I think it switches it from, I don't know what it is. It's gone, so it's got a cable in there. I'm assuming it switches it from defrost to foot or something. I don't know. But I'm going to see if that piece is there and get it. And there's a few other things. But anyway, getting ready to head up there. Come along with me. Well, I'm here at the junkyard. Talked to the fellow that owns the place. He said just walk on back here and look around. This is an old junkyard. There is a lot of old stuff in here. I'll just show you some examples. You know, there's just stuff everywhere. There's a Vega. There's a 68 Camaro. Old Cadillac. That building up there's got a couple cool cars in it. There's a bunch of old cars from the 40s and 50s right over in there. I think the car we're looking for is kind of around this corner to the right. There's a Javelin sitting right over there. Look, there's a 70 Mustang sitting there. There's a 67 or 68 Mustang sitting there. A lot of old stuff. Old mini stock car there. Like an old Dodge pickup maybe, right there. Old Impala. Little old Capri. A lot of cool stuff in here. You just gotta dig around, try to find it. It's the first time I've been in this junkyard. It's close to my house, and this gentleman probably knew my dad because like I said, I grew up in a junkyard too. Look, there's a Cougar sitting there. 67, sitting right there. Right there, I think, is my wagon that I'm looking for. Top smashed in on it. It's a shame. Yep. Let's see if we can work our way around there. I might need to go back and go around. Look there. Old Ford truck. Grill. Looks like a Torino. 68 or 69 Torino. Sitting there. It could be a Mercury. What's this here? Pontiac. Buick. Skylark. You can see where the old emblem was on there. Boys, you need, this is what you need when you go to a junkyard. You gotta have your bucket. Now, I'm talking about your fancy square toolboxes. You know, you're going to a junkyard, you need a bucket. You can throw everything in that bucket. You can sit that bucket in the mud. Carries just about everything you need. I got a little toolkit there. Got my wagon. Makes it easy for a guy to get around. Log chains everywhere. They must have the market corner on log chains because they just throw them down and leave them laying. They're expensive. I don't have the kind of money like that where I can just leave my log chains laying around. There's a 71 through 73 Mustang sitting there. I have a 73 Mach 1 I've told y'all about that I'm fixing to go to town on, that I've had since I was 16. A lot of people didn't like those, but I've always liked them. That particular car I had my eye on from the time I was 7 years old until I bought that car when I was 16. It had gone from the owner that I originally saw to a different owner by the time I bought it. First time I saw it, it belonged to my older brother's friend, and we had gone to his house to just hang out. My older brother was 10 years older than me. He took me everywhere with him. And so that's where we went. And I saw that car and fell in love with it. But then I never saw the car again until I was 15. I come in on the school bus and I saw it pull in the school parking lot out the bus window. And I was like, oh, there's that car, you know. And about a year later, I was on my way. I had built myself a 65 Impala convertible out of my dad's junkyard. I built that from the time I was 12 until the time I was 15. And ended up, I was going to take it and I was going to trade it for a 68 Camaro and give a guy $1,000 in my convertible for the Camaro. And I went to the bank with my mom. I had a part-time after-school job cleaning the body shop at a local dealership, and I was making $3.35 an hour, and I was making about anywhere from $26 to $53 a week. With the hours I was getting cleaning cars and cleaning the body shop. And anyway, so I went to the bank. My mom was going to co-sign me the money to get this Camaro, and the banker there said, "You got your heart set on a Camaro?" And I said, "Well, I like the Camaro, but there's this Mustang that I really like that I can't find I can't find another one that I like, and that one's not apparently available. I don't know where it is." And he said, well, my nephew's got a Mustang he's selling if you want to go take a look at it. And I said, well, yeah, I'll go take a look at it. And so we went to look at it and pulled in the driveway, and that was that same car. And I told my mom, I said, this is meant to be. I have to have this car. So we went in and met the guy that owned it. He was from my school, but he was 4 years older than me. He was in my sister's class, and really cool guy. And he said he just had too many projects at the time. He had a 78 notchback Mustang that he'd put a 460 in, and he wanted to work on that project, so he was going to sell that Mach 1 and he wanted $2,300 for it. And he had 4 big square fog lights up under the bumper mounted. And I said, would you take $2,000? He said, well, I'll take $2,000 if I can have those fog lights. And I said, done. I don't want those fog lights. So we went back to the bank, and my mom co-signed my loan for $2,000. And then we went and bought the car. And it was about 9 miles from there to home. I drove it halfway, and my mom wanted to drive it. My mom was a leadfoot. She was a character. Y'all would have loved her. And when she got in that thing, I mean, she was drifting around corners. She was smoking the tires. I mean, she drove it way harder than I did. And it was a pretty fast car. It was a 351 Cleveland Cobra Jet, 4-bolt main engine. It had been modified, had a crane fireball cam in it, 5/16 lift, a 302 duration, Edelbrock intake, 750 Holly, factory 4-speed car, 9-inch rear end, and it would run. Had headers on it, and my mom loved it just as much as I did, because she test drove everything that came in the junkyard, all the hot rods. She was always out burning tires in them. She was a pistol. So anyway, I still have that car, and I'm turning that car into my Pro Street car now. So I had to break away from it to work on my Rambler for a little while. But anyway, I ended up selling that Impala to my best friend for $1,000 and a Grand Prix. He gave me a 72 Grand Prix and $1,000 for that car, which I think he got the better end of the deal on it, but I just needed the money to put on my Mustang. And I remember, man, back my payment was $85 a month. I remember everything about it, because, you know, my insurance, had to pay my own insurance. But, you know, best thing mom ever did, you know, she made me pay my own way. I paid my car payment. I paid my own insurance. It was $364 every 6 months for insurance on that, because I was 16, and a 2-door car in Indiana classified as a sports car. So they never made a 4-door of it. It was a sports car. So it was higher. So anyway, it was, that was the beginning, man. That car's a part of me, y'all. You know, I'll probably never part with it. I'm sure my daughter will end up, my older daughter's claimed it already, and my younger daughter's claimed my Rambler. So when I'm gone and I croak, they're gonna have these hot rods. Hopefully you can still get gas for them by then. We'll see. But anyway, here we are. You can see now that it's got a 6-banger in it. 199 cubic inch torque commander. Look at that. And look at that. Them there, if you can see, those are shifting arms on the steering column. This car has clutch pedals in it. That's a 3 on the tree right there. We are in the beeswax. Now, problem is, lots of heavy stuff. There's a 9-inch Ford truck rear end that is sitting right up against the door. There's a engine laying up against the door. I'm gonna have to probably have some help. It does have seats in it. So there is a pedal laying in that seat. I'm not sure if that's off of this car or not. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna try to roust up some help, see if I can find somebody to move some of this stuff for me. We'll see in a little bit. All right, so got to figure out a way to get in this. Look at that front seat has 3 of the mounting places in the floorboard rusted away. So if I can get the other one broke loose, I can get that front seat out. I'm gonna try. The back seat looks like it's in pretty bad shape. Been rained on. I'm sure the front seat is too. I don't know, but I need to get it out of there anyway to get those pedals out. So I want to try to wrestle with it a little bit. Anybody see any place around here where I could hook something to it to hold my phone? Oh, look, there's one. All right. We'll just use that one. Nice one to put that out here for me, huh? if that's gonna stay there. I'll probably have to take the phone out of the mount. This is gonna be fun. Well, maybe not fun. I don't know. Let me see here. This out of the way without giving myself a hernia. Probably not gonna try that just yet. Let's try sneaking between this Rambler and this old Ford Galaxy. Cool taillights. Totally different than mine. This is a little newer model, I'd say. Probably, I don't know, maybe a 67. I don't know that much about them, honestly. This is my first Rambler when I'm working on that wagon. All right, let me look here. Excuse me. That didn't work. Plan B. Let's see here. There it is. So the feet, the mounting feet on these rails are rotted off. That's what broke there. The front one's almost completely rotted through. Now, I can replace those. I can make them and weld them on, but it all depends on what the condition of this seat is. I may have to pass on this one and try to find a better one. Car's been here a long time. Yeah, I'm cutting them. All right, so I got the seat out. I can see the pedals from here. I gotta go grab my tarp off my wagon, lay in there, because I ain't laying in that. Okay, now my tarp in there, got my tools in there. I'm gonna get down under there, see what I can see. I might have to take the steering column out of this to get those pedals out. Don't know. But I'm gonna take a look. Alright. Yep. Not looking that good. Okay, got some bolts running. 3 bolts there. Hold the weather plate. Oh, where the steering column bolts to the firewall. A couple bolts there. I can drop the steering column down. Might be a challenge. Well, you're not going to believe this, but
I was just testing just to see what was going to happen. And those 3 bolts that hold that plate to the firewall came out. I squirted some PV blaster on them and let them sit for a couple minutes and put a socket on them, and they turned with a ratchet. So I put my drill on there and backed them right out. I couldn't believe it. So that's a good sign that I may be able to get these pedals out fairly easily. I may have to take the steering column. It looks like the actual pedals mount to the column, so I may have to just buy the steering column off of them too, which is okay. I mean, like I said, well, the other option is buying a aftermarket set of pedals, in which case I could just buy an aftermarket steering column too. I mean, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, but if I can get this one cheap, you know, that's less money I got to put into the car. So let's see. All right, so got the pedals out. I got the front seat out. I got 2 armrests. One of them's not really any good. The other one's actually pretty good. I don't need them anyway, but they're scarce as hen's teeth, as they say. So I think I'll probably be able to resell them on eBay or something. Who knows? But check it out. Pedals. Actually, everything was there. The springs, hardware, the little plastic gliders that go on for the clutch cable. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get the clutch cable before I go. That should be pretty quick. All right, see ya. All right, got my clutch cable. Didn't think I was going to be able to get it because I needed a 3/4 wrench that I didn't have, and so I had to pretty much stand on my head and use my crescent wrench, or adjustable wrench. A lot of people don't know that a crescent is actually the brand of the wrench. I guess they were the first ones to actually commercialize the adjustable wrench. So it's always called a crescent wrench, but it's an adjustable wrench. All right, so I'm gonna walk around a little bit before I leave here with my goodies. Just look at some stuff. So this here is a 70 or 71 Thunderbird. See the suicide doors in it. My dad had 2 of these in our junkyard. One was white like this, and they all had the 429 Thunderjet in them, which is what we see here. So they would roll out. These were really cool cars, and they're such a pretty penny these days. Some serious luxury styling, nice interior, just really cool cars. Old Fairlane. It's a 65, I believe. Looks like a 57. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think that is a 57 Ford Fairlane. I'm not sure what that is. Actually, it might be an Etzel. I can't tell. There's about a 60, mid 60s, maybe 65, 66 Ford pickup. There's a C10 in blue right there. That's actually a C30. That's a 1-ton. That's probably right there. It's probably a 40, 48. Some of you Chevy guys tell me what that is with those corner windows in the cab.
5 window, I guess they call that, pickup. That might be another little Rambler right there. I'm not sure what that is. Little Torino 64 or 5 Chevy Malibu, 68 Camaro. I already saw the taillights, so it's got the barb in the taillights. So I'm pretty sure that's a 68 unless they've been changed. All kinds of cool stuff in here. That is, I don't know what that is. It might be a Rambler, but I ain't sure. I'm not swearing to it. Another old Chevy pickup. There's a bunch of old Tri-5 Chevys in here that are just picked over and just worn out. Yep. Come back in here another day. Yeah, that cab on that old Ford pickup right there is one of the coolest cabs. That small back window. It kind of wraps around. Old Impala. Just some cool stuff. Alright. We're going to get out of here now, guys and gals. See you back at the shop.